Welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 to the channel, and of course to Cessatopia. Hope you're having a great day today. My name is Caesar. It's been a little bit since I uploaded a Planet Coaster video, and I've been kind of busy with, life stuff, so here we are. I'm kind of excited to be back. It's been a minute. I've missed the game. I haven't played it since the last time I played it on the channel, so I'm going to be kind of rusty probably, and it's going to be a bit of a shorter video. Don't have too much time to record, but I really want to get a video out there today because it's been a minute and I missed recording, and I need to stop. I need to start making more time to record, I guess is what I want to say, right? So I'm not going to talk too much. Let's just get into this and hopefully things turn out all right. So we're going to start right up over here in the staff area that we developed last time. And I really want to hone in the area because right now it's kind of just chaotic and there's randomly placed buildings. There's nothing covering this. And I want to come up with something to cover this. And a lot of it's going to be vegetation, but I want to come up with something kind of more creative here along this general entrance. And I think we can come up with something pretty decent. Now, what I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking we get some rocks. Because I think if we get some rocks, how do you get rocks without getting a brush? I assume it's scenery, and then nature, and then rocks. Okay, there we go. Now, I think we're in the Mediterranean? Is this a Mediterranean land? No. What is this not property? What is this called? I'm gonna create a custom, first of all. I think we are in the Mediterranean. That would make sense. Unless there's another... Let's see. Maybe it's scenery theme. We're definitely looking for the resort stuff. So is there like resort rocks, specific resort rocks that go with that? No. Which makes sense. I guess they wouldn't develop rocks just for that, right? They would use kind of things that are more regional. This isn't temperate. This isn't tropical. This is like the desert stuff. Yeah, we're definitely in the Mediterranean area. If we're not, someone correct me because I actually don't remember. It's completely fine. I'm not going to worry about it too hard. So, all right, let's get a little bit of rocks. And I think we're just going to build a little bit of an archway with this. And we'll go with the bigger rock like that. And then from there, we're kind of going to go something like this. And then we'll hit X to get into our advanced move tools, which is really, really good. We'll pull this in. Probably need a smaller rock than that. Maybe something like... Oh, that's a little too small. I think we're going to have to click through a bunch of these to find the right one that we need. Something like this might work, okay? So, and that's a little bit bigger, but if we put it into... If we rotate our axes... I'm good with words today, apparently. We can rotate things however we want them and resize them with, which is all that cool stuff. And I'm glad this game gives you those kind of creative tools to really kind of make things exactly how you want without being limited by the game too much. And I think, who makes this game again? I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've played this game. It's very smart on the developer's move to kind of give you more creativity, especially when it comes to like resizing things. And Planet Coaster 1, if you guys remember, obviously you remember. Or else you wouldn't be playing Planet Coaster 2, probably, unless you're just starting with Planet Coaster 2, which is kind of weird. You should probably go play Planet Coasters 1 before you play Planet Coasters 2, is all I'm saying. But if you feel like you have to just come over here, it's completely fine. Definitely recommend checking out the first game. It's still amazing, but definitely some limitations that I think the second game addresses, and I think it's really cool. Anyways, having the freedom to kind of build whatever you want and not have the game limit you with like the size of things and things like that, because there's always been some pretty cool props that you weren't able to choose because, well, the game limited you. And I think them rolling towards more of a super pro creative outlook on the game, I think is very, very smart. And I hope more games take on that approach. It seems like a lot of games recently aren't very I guess user friendly, right? They feel kind of just corporate entities are just pumping out games to line their pockets, and they're kind of forgetting what makes a good game good. And a lot of that comes from community feedback. If your community doesn't like your game, then it's probably gonna suck. I don't even know what I'm rambling on about at this point anymore. I'm just kind of rambling just to ramble. But been a minute since I've talked to you guys about this kind of stuff, and I miss you guys, and I hope a lot of you are still around. It's only been a couple of weeks since the last video. I think that looks all right. That looks pretty decent. It looks like a giant blob right now, but we're going to add some more stuff to this to kind of make it feel a little bit more rough around the edges and things like that. We're going to add like a little bit of rocks like this sticking out. Let's go back into the move mode so I don't mess that up. Pull this out probably. That's fine for that angle right there. There we go. I want to get rid of a bit of the smoothness that we have going on here. It's nothing wrong for it to be nice and smooth, but I want to get some, at least some texture going into this, right? Because right now it's just kind of flat and boring. And that's not something that's very fun to look at, but there we go. I think adding just a little bit of rock sticking out of this thing is going to make it look a lot better. And I'm not going to make you guys watch through all of that. So, well, maybe I will. Maybe I just want to keep ranting. You know, you never really know. Also, if you play 5M, I've been working on a 5M server for a while now, and it's kind of up and running. So if you want to check it out, feel free to check it out. I can't promise anything. I'm not a very good developer. It's so something we've been putting together for a while now, and I'm the person putting it together with a couple of other people helping out. So if you're interested in like the serious roleplay and stuff like that, hop on over there in the Discord in the description. Come hang out. Come say hi. If you've never played 5M, now's a chance to start, right? It's all about roleplay, getting into your character, being creative, and just having a good time. And hopefully the server performs well enough where everybody, even with like lower end computers and things like that, can have a good time and I guess not suffer too much with the lag that is 5M communities, because unoptimized servers and things like that, they cause a bunch of issues, and it's never a lot of fun to play broken games. Just like when games come out and they're completely full of bugs, you don't want to play them because they're not fun, because they're full of bugs and it's just really annoying, right? So same concept there. But anyways, no more rambling on that. All right, this looks a lot better. I think with the texture on it, definitely feels a little bit more alive. Could use a little bit more over here, but I think it's gonna be fine. We're gonna go into our vegetation. I think we're just gonna brush. We're gonna keep this nice and easy. There's no reason to complicate this, and I think we're gonna go with the temperate park trees. I think that's completely fine, and then we're gonna just, I think that's what I've been using over here. Unless it's not temperate. No, not temperate. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the Mediterranean stuff? No, it's definitely this stuff. Oh, I did use the wrong rock, see? Because now we're oh. My mistake. Anyways, I want to just bury that in the back, right? So nobody can see that. Giant tree? Sure, why not? Giant trees are very good at hiding things like that. I want to just hide that stuff so nobody sees it as they're walking by. Right here, there's a little bit of a gap, so we can go in and do some little bit of a custom stuff, putting down some manual trees and things like that. But I don't want to spend too much time on this because I feel like it's just a waste of time, and I don't know. Just don't want to spend too much time doing it. I'm being honest. All right, so let's switch our nature region because we're clearly on the wrong one. Let's go with this one. This is actually the trees we've been using for a lot of the stuff here. Yeah, this is a staff path. I made sure of that last time. It took me forever to figure out how paths work, and even now I'm still kind of struggling with it, but I think it's going to be fine. Just a couple of bushes like that can go a long way in covering that stuff up. I actually like how that looks. Can we... Maybe, I think that does what I want it to do. Now, I mean, technically no one's going to see over that fence, right? So right there, that's like perfect. Let's put another one of these like in here, maybe like that. And I think that just covers it up really, really nicely. And where else can you see back there? Right here through this angle here. It's all about how people can see it, right? Just because you can't see something from up high doesn't mean people down below can't see it. So always get a bit of a better eye level as to like where they are, because then you can build something a little bit nicer. Because especially I like walking around in first person view and things like that just to look around. So if I don't build something that I would want to look at, then I don't want somebody else to want to have to look at it, right? Because then that just kind of ruins it. So something like this, just cover some of this stuff up like that. There we go. No reason to overcomplicate this. Just grab some trees and slap them in the holes, pretty much. That's how it goes. And just like that, you get kind of that really covered area. It's kind of what we want. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll place some of these like taller grass pieces kind of closer to the edges of the forest here. Because what this is going to allow us to do... Apologies for all the spinning, by the way. I'm trying not to, but some of the stuff I have to, so I'll spin a little bit slower, maybe. I have to be able to see what I'm doing, if not, it's not going to work. But if you just line up the edge of the forest, I think it just makes it look a little bit thicker in the long end, and I think that looks good. Because if it looks a little bit thicker, then you get kind of that vibe of, like, it's a little bit overgrown, you know? That's kind of the vibe I want to go for. Like, oh, that one's floating. Let's bring this down a little bit. think a lot of these were floating, actually. Yeah, a lot of these are floating. Let's, we'll double down, put a couple more inside of these. So they're like a little bit closer to the ground. Just like that. Let's rotate this a little bit. There we go. Keep going just a little bit more, maybe just to there. We'll cross here. I think that'll be fine. Why are these still floating? I don't understand that. I guess no one's gonna see that because they're like way taller than this stuff, but shouldn't this stuff be snapping to the ground? Where's the snapping stuff? Stick to surface. Oh, on. There we go. It wasn't sticking. Oops. Does this still do the thing where it's supposed to? It does. Okay, cool. Once you select like your height, it'll stay there. You don't have to like replace the height over and over when you get over another surface, but this will at least ensure that we're going down a little bit lower because yeah, we're still in a weird spot. Let's try to, oops. Just blinded myself. Let's zoom out of there a little bit. Hello, everybody. Just like that. Bring that down just like this. And just line this front up like that. This also adds to your scenery rating. I don't know if that's like a big thing in this game, but I feel like it would be. And it's super cheap way of doing this stuff. It's not going to add many points to it like if you had just a couple. But if you go crazy like this and just go absolutely not just bonkers, it's going to look a lot better in the long term, and it's going to fill in your area, and people are going to be happier, and it's going to be really, really good. Okay. Let's, oops, definitely not something like that. We'll do something like this. Just, get rid of that one. The stick to surface thing is going to make me go crazy. Okay, let's align to surface right now. There we go. Align to surface. We'll turn that off, and then we'll adjust the height to where we want it, and then it'll stay. That'll be fine. There we go. I've also been playing a little bit of Planet Zoo, which is kind of weird. I own all the DLC for that game, and I just never played it. I don't know if it's like too slow or something, but something about the game has always kind of like made me a little bit kind of bored about it, right? But recently I've been getting back into it, and it's been very enjoyable. So maybe something we'll bring to the channel if I can ever even finish a series. 'Cause I don't think I've ever finished the series successfully. I think White Pine County is the only one that I'm like mostly satisfied with, that it's like I left it in a decent spot, you know? But for the most part, I feel like there's more story to tell in a lot of these builds and things like that in the different games we've played on the channel. Like, especially like Software Inc. I've started so many different series on that, and I've never once finished I've never once finished one. And I feel awful about that. Because I know some of you have been waiting for that stuff, and I just never finished it, and maybe it's a little bit of laziness? I guess it could be a little bit of laziness, right? But I don't know, it's just I get bored of a game and I just don't want to play it anymore. And I feel like if I'm not enjoying a game, it's not going to be a good video because it's going to be me just absolutely bored through the entire time. And I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be something where you watch the video because we're enjoying something together, not just, you know, I'm just absolutely bored and faking all my reactions and pretending I'm having a good time when in reality I'm miserable. I'd rather not do that to you guys, and I'm not going to do that to you guys, so that's just something we're going to have to live with on the channel. Me canceling series in the middle of them because I get bored, and I think that's okay. I've also been playing a little bit of Big Ambitions. If you know anything about that game, it's awesome. If you haven't played it, please watch it. Charlie Pryor here on YouTube plays that game. Well, I guess he hasn't played it. I don't think he's played the newest update, but I think he's going to stream it soon. But if you haven't played that game or seen any of it, you should totally go check out Charlie Pryor. He is phenomenal at what he does on YouTube here. And Big Ambitions, is you kind of get very involved. It's a very in-depth micromanagement type of simulator game where you start off with nothing, and your uncle, quote unquote, right, is helping you start up building your company. And you can pretty much build an unlimited amount of stores and businesses. There's warehouses stuff, and there's manufacturing, and you have to deal with delivery drivers and employees and scheduling and insurance and corporate employees like office people, like your human resources stuff, and procurement directors, and all this, so many management positions that you got to fill up and build an office space for, and it's a really, 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 really fun game. So if it's something you haven't played yet, but it's the kind of game you like, definitely recommend to check it out. It's very, very fun. I think it's very rewarding if you get to build something really cool that you're happy with, obviously. And I think it's just going to be awesome. I've been playing a little bit on the channel, like I was saying, and It's not for everybody. It's a little bit too micromanagey sometimes, but I love this type of games where you have to manage every single little detail of everything you're doing. I think that makes the game great. That's why I play 5M a lot, because you get into that micromanagement of, you know, it's real people you're playing with, right? But it's like everybody's there for, I guess, the simulation of it, right? The simulation of life, I guess, right? It's your life outside of real life. And I think that's just really cool. But, ooh, there's flowers in these, huh? Maybe I'll put a couple of these like that. Nothing, like, don't want to go crazy with the flowers, but maybe just a couple of these like that. Maybe one, maybe some here in the front like that. That just feels a lot nicer. I like this vibe. See, now you walk by this area and you don't really see stuff. I guess right here you can see stuff, but we'll come back and add more to this as we keep building, but I think that's fine for now. So that ends up our little staff area. And now we're going to move on to this side where I want to build our second ride. And I guess it's something we should have started, well, a little bit before, I guess. We have 28,000 research points, which is really, really good. I want to unlock more stuff with our theme. And I think if we go, I don't want to get into water yet. I really don't. So we're not going to. I don't want to do coasters because I'm awful at building roller coasters. If you've ever watched me build a roller coaster, you'd probably be embarrassed to know me, right? It's how bad it is, right? So let's go ahead and unlock the special flat ride. Let's unlock the towers. We're gonna just spend a bunch of points here so we have options, and we're out of points like that, so that's completely fine. Small panel would be nice for electricity. Definitely start getting into some more better stuff there. Seeing, I don't think we need any transportation stuff yet. Maybe in the future we'll need like these buses and things like that, but for now, we're fine. We'll just let the game flow in the background so we keep getting those points. The next time we come in, we'll have a bit more points to keep doing some stuff. How's everything doing? How's our staff doing, by the way? I haven't checked on our staff yet. That's something we kind of missed out on last time. I didn't really do any management stuff. Staff right here. How's it? Everybody's morale is kind of mid. They're content. Had a missed? What is this? Oh, our ride attendant missed their break. It's because we only have one ride attendant. Okay, we're gonna hire a couple more ride attendants, right? Once we get a next ride, because if with one ride having two ride attendants is kind of useless because they don't really do much. But if you have two rides with three attendants, they go back and forth giving each other breaks, and I think that just works very, very well. So we're gonna go ahead and demolish a lot of this area here. Let's go to make the width a little bit bigger here. Just kind of get rid of all these trees. Just like, ooh, that's an ugly tree. It was like in the mountain. Are we good here? Yeah. I still really love this entrance. I can't wait to finish this and kind of expand that waterfall to kind of make it fit a little bit better. Like if you come in here, it's just, oh, my camera controls. You can see the nozzle sticking out of the rock. That's why I brought that rock down a little bit, just so it wouldn't be too horrible to look at. Because if you see the nozzle, I feel like that breaks kind of the realism of it, right? It looks artificial. I don't want it to look too artificial because I'm, obviously we're placing every single little piece, but the best we can make it look is, I think the better off will be, for sure. So, all right, here we go. Now, let's look at a little bit of our flat rides. Let's go into our flat rides here. Let's go into our themes. And we're going to go for our resort theme. Again, we're going for the resort stuff for now. Eventually, we will veer off of it and go into some different themes like the mythology stuff and things like that. Build kind of different sections of theme around the park, right? So right now we have something very, very boring. Let's get something for the people who are here for a bit of excitement. And I think this tower right here kind of does that. Now, the entrance and exit is right here in the front. So what we can do is place this somewhere like this and connect this up to the path. And I think it'll look nicely with the forest background. Now, we can't put it too close to the trees because if it starts swinging, right, you're going to have this thing swinging into a bunch of trees and you don't want to be held liable for somebody flying into a tree or something, right? So you got to be careful with that. Now, entrance is on this side, exits on that side. So if we put like, helps if I do this right. We'll angle this slightly so that exit's a little closer to the pathway and the entrance is a little bit further, because then we can build a little bit longer pathway, and I think that'll be the best way to do this. So that's completely fine. We'll get our path here to get this connected, and I'm very, very bad at these path tools. and I don't really know how this stuff works. What did this just say? Not build a queue staff path on a right exit. That makes sense. Let's get a path. And then we just connect this to here, I assume. Is this the right? That's not the right design at all. Customized design. I think we're using the jazzy mosaic path. I think that just looks really nice. We're just gonna connect it over here. That's oh, we're not using jazzy, huh? Is that the same? Something looks different about this, right? No, I'm just seeing things. I'm just gonna pretend I'm not here, okay? Because clearly I'm losing it. What kind of path do we have over here? We have like the standard path. So what if we go? How do you build a queue? I guess this is like regular path stuff, right? So if we're looking for a queue, can we just go? Oh, put that back there. Connect this to the entrance, and then we'll just go with something like this, and that'll be fine. There we go. Go with this one right there. And let's not overcomplicate this. The line does need to be a little bit bigger than that last ride, but I don't think it needs to be too crazy. So I'll go with something like this. And let's fix that last angle, something like this. And we'll bring this all the way over here, and we'll connect up right there. This will leave us plenty of space to actually kind of build up this queue, right? And that's kind of what I want. So let's test this. No power, really? Are we really out of the... Oh, where the power's way over here. I should have put this... Ooh. Yeah, I see that we don't have enough power, game. Very smart on telling me after the game told me already, you know? You're kind of behind yourself right now. Let's go ahead and get the path tool here. And... how can we... I have an idea. No, it actually wouldn't work if I do that idea. Let's not do that idea. We need power here, but how can we bring power? Is there a way to expand that kind of stuff without adding completely new facilities? What are these? Power distributor. Underground well. What do we have over here? If we go look at this thing, what is this? That's a power generator, right? So because we have a power generator, can I technically just get a power distributor that will distribute this excess power? I can hide it in the ride if I turn off everything. The overlap is important. That's for sure. We'll put it like here, and then we will connect this up to there. So now this has power. Yes? How does this not have power yet? What's going on here? Edit the building. How do we connect the pipes and stuff like that? There has to be a way to connect pipes. Yeah, like how do I use those pipes? How do I move those pipes under there? You're telling me there's no way to move pipes? Or do I have to just move the ride completely? I don't understand. Okay, I guess we're getting another power distributor. And then we're connecting this up. I don't know why that didn't connect. That should have connected. Bam. Now there's power coming way over here. And this thing should resolve itself and be fine. I'm going to assume. How is there not enough power? Is there like... See, now I'm confused. This thing is connected to this, and this thing should have power. Right? Am I wrong by saying that? You just need more generators? I wish the game would tell me how to fix this. Must be in the supply area. This is in the supply area. We saw that. We saw that together. Connect the power cable. See, game? We can see that this has power. It's in a power area. So what else does this need for it to operate? Is this just the game being weird? I'm going to restart the game and see if that fixes it, because that's in power. I don't understand what else I could do. Hold on. We're back in and we still have power issues. I don't understand what's causing this. We have a power facility. Right? So, like, what's causing this? We can see that power is active between the machines. Can I move this and that'll have power now or something? Like, do you have power now? Does this have power now? So what's the point of a power distributor if it doesn't do anything? Powered structure, 0 out of 1, extra power required, +1 total capacity. How much power does this thing take? It takes 53 power. So this isn't even enough to get this thing operational. Because this distributor only takes however much water I just said there. It only takes... So this thing is low on power because we're only receiving 51. We need 53 for that ride. But this thing's providing 68. Oh, we're out of power here. So we need more generators, is what this is telling us. Okay, this is starting to make a little bit more sense. Let's go... with something like this. We'll place that there. And then we'll connect this to that. And then now we have enough power. I'm going to assume. Oh, sorry for that weird zoom out. And now we can hit open. There we go. Our ride is open. So we hired a second ride attendant. Right. Now let's go back into management. We can go to staff. We see we only have 2 ride attendants. It seems fine, but they can't go on break because there's nobody to give them a break. So if we have an extra ride attendant that's around, this ride attendant will technically be useless for a while, but he'll be around to give everybody breaks, and it'll keep everybody happy. Now, how many food stall people do we have? We go to staff. We have 3 vendors, so there's nobody to give them breaks, technically, right? Oh, we only have 2 vendors. That's perfectly fine. They should be able to cover each other. We should check on the rest of our staff here while we're doing this. Let's go into here again. Janitor, probably completely fine. I don't see much of a mess. Lifeguards, we don't need yet. We don't have any water stuff, any water activities. Mechanics, we have 2. I think that's even more than we need right now, but I want to be prepared. I don't want to be left stranded, not knowing what I'm doing with staff and things like that, right? So, how is this charge going to... Like, is this going to be charging... I feel like this is going to be charging too little, because if this thing is charging... Well, people are saying it's cheap over here. So if I up this to $3, will people still say it's cheap? I'm curious, right? I want to see what happens with this ride and see if we can up the price a little bit. Because I feel like $3 is a little too low. What if we up it to... Oh, $5 was too high. What about $3.50? $3.50 is still getting a line. What about $4? $5. So it looks like $5. People will still get in line for this ride. This at $12, they will hop in line and not care. I might come back to another time. The queue's massive. Makes sense. We're going to go into operations, though, and we're going to make sure they have a half load before they take off. Because sometimes it'll glitch out and they won't have a full load, right? So, and then we'll just lose a bunch of money that way. But there we go. So can we up this price to like $13.50? And it'll be fine. I don't see anybody else going in here. Oh, there we go. That $13 price ticket might have... No, it's a little too high. Oh, there we go. Cheap tickets, cheap tickets, cheap tickets. So that's fine. Now we're making more money and our income will go up significantly and it's going to be very, very good. Okay. That's very nice. People are paying the $5. The queue is just fuller than ever. And that's very good. What's our scenery rating? Our scenery rating is 100% actually, which is very nice. I think it's because everything is like nearby and they just love this. And this thing is full of decoratives that kind of came with the preset. And I think it's really, really nice. And it fits the general vibe of everything going on here. Now, again, the thought process behind the resort theme in the middle of a forest is like a hidden resort inside of a forest, right? So slowly the forest will build out and around, and then we'll have a giant resort kind of world in between, and I think that's going to be a very good way of looking at this. All right, now let's go do some decoratives because right now it looks kind of plain, and we're going to go kind of simple in the background with the way we always do, just because there's no reason to overcomplicate the stuff. We're going to go with the tropical stuff, the Mediterranean stuff, I think. That's not what I wanted. I need the taiga. I never know how to pronounce that word, but I see it all the time. This stuff right here. We're going to just paint some of this stuff in like that. It's probably a little too much over here. There we go, like that. And we're going to draw a little bit of a path over here or something just to get that path connected here for our staff, because right now our staff team can't get to that, and that's going to be that's going to cause a problem. So we need that resolved ASAP. So let's go into paths here. We're going to go into... How do you switch the staff path right here? Okay. And then we can just connect to this and take this all the way back here, I assume. Just like that. Okay. Now this we can technically move. I think it's fine. I think that's reachable. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now they'll be able to reach that, and that's going to be completely fine, and maintenance won't be a problem because it's good to go. Now, is everybody still saying this is cheap? Everyone's still saying this is cheap, which is very, very good. I don't want to make it too expensive where like nobody wants to go on it, so I'll go to $14 and see if that's fine. This queue is still completely full, so we'll go up to $5.50 and see if that still keeps a line. $5.50 is still keeping a line. We'll go to $6 and just leave it there for now. We can always come back and adjust, but it's going to be fine. 30% cheap tickets. Wow, everybody is loving this ride. But our profit's going to increase significantly. If you saw at first, we were making like $400 a day. Now we're making $2,000 in profit every single day off of that ride. This one is making $7,000 to $8,000 in projected income in a single day, which is really great, honestly, to see. So that's kind of exciting. Now, right here, I want to do a little bit of a feature. I don't exactly know what yet. Let's slow down the game so it's not going too crazy fast in the background. What if we keep it simple and go with a king coaster? We already have a king coaster there. That doesn't make sense. We shouldn't have two king coasters in one area. Let's see. What if we go with a queen coaster? Or a water queen? I don't know her name. If someone knows her name, please tell me. I have no idea what her name is. Here we go. Something like that. And we're not gonna overcomplicate this the way we keep talking about it. I feel like the simpler you make your decorations, the better off you'll be. There's no reason to spend 17 hours. Oh, there's a pre-made arch we could have utilized here instead of making our own. No, I'm happy with the one we made over here. Definitely not the best looking, but I really like it. I think it fits very well. And it's something we made, so something we can be proud of, right? So let's go into our bushes and stuff. Let's go into scenery. We're going to create custom the way we were doing this before. And let's get some basic decoratives to put along the base here. I want to get a bunch of flowers. So let's try to get some flowers. Is there a flower? What are coral? No, it's coral stuff. We don't need corals. We don't need hedges. We don't need trees. Plant. No, flowers right here. Flower stuff. Okay. I want to just line this area up with this bed first, and then we'll come back through with some flowers on top. I think it's going to look all right because having kind of that flat base to build off of makes it less work for you to have to fill up all the gaps later. I think that's going to be really nice for us, especially as we're doing this. Just keeping it simple. There's no reason to overcomplicate this. And I was looking back at the previous video before I started recording again, just to get a bit of an idea of like what I was talking about with the park and things like that. And I was looking at a little bit of the lighting that we did, and I'm gonna say, I really thoroughly enjoy the way I set up the lighting last time, and I hope you guys like it too. It was really enjoyable to set up that way, and I think it looks good. Like having these posts with the light going over it, they don't give off much light, but I think it looks as good as a decoration anyway. And I hope you guys like it because I really like it and it's not going anywhere, so hopefully you don't hate it. If not, then hopefully you can live through it, right? And then we'll be fine. There we go. Just like that, a little bit of a base. And then what we can do is start going through with some of these flower pieces and fill it up really nicely. So yeah, some of this stuff is really, really good. It's a little bit too tall. Maybe something more scattered would be nice. I like these. A little bit of flower pieces kind of sticking out of the ground like that is going to do wonders. There we go. Just randomly clicking, making it feel like it kind of just randomly grew in, not forced down by me. I'm all about the symmetry and things like that. I do it a lot. But I feel like sometimes you just gotta have to go crazy with it, right? Just gotta pretend you have a brush and you're just painting down as many flowers as you can paint down. That's kind of the vibe I want, and I think it's gonna be very, very nice. What are these? This is like, I guess so, but I don't think this is needed. Colby Soda's paused. Makes sense. Someone's on break. That's okay. And I don't want to go too crazy with the stuff. I think keeping it nice and basic is going to be the way to go. We're going to make these peek out like that a little bit, just to add a little bit of contrast between the colors, so it's not just all flat. And I think having these vibrant colors mixed in between all the green is going to make it really pop. And I think it's going to look really, really sick. There we go. Just go crazy with it, right? Just they're $1 a plant. They help with your scenery, and overall, you're going to be happy with your park because you're going to know that you went through and you put down as many decorations as you could possibly think of at the time you were putting them down. Obviously, sometimes you'll see something you built at the beginning of your park and you'll be like, ew, I don't like it, and things like that, and that's okay. It happens. But I think just going with your gut while you're building kind of leads to some more unique stuff, and I think that's really, really good. Should we add some sunflowers? I don't think we will. Maybe here in the middle, like this. Lining up the edge of the pole like this would be kind of sick. There we go. Something like that. I think that adds a little bit of character. It's kind of really, really nice. And I don't want to go crazy with this queue setup. I think just this alone, and then maybe some vegetation around here is going to look really, really awesome. But the last thing I want to do before we end this ride here is I want to go through the rear end of here and kind of lay down some of those bushes that we did last time, just to kind of fill it in a little bit nicer again, right? So let's figure out which ones we used, because I don't remember which ones we used here for the base. And if we grab like one of these, oops, let's go ahead and exit that. Let's go ahead and duplicate. Okay. Now we can take this piece of scenery all the way over here and just start lining the world up with this stuff. And it's going to look really, really nice by the time we're done. Hopefully. That's the goal of it, right? So, there we go. I like this a lot. If I up the scale, how does that look? It's just giant. We'll put a few giant ones in there and then we'll bring it down to the 150%. There we go. And then we'll just line it up with this stuff. And I think it's just going to bring it all together very, very well. Again, add that sense of depth to it where you can't see the end of the forest, so you don't know it's there, even though it's only a few trees deep. When you're looking through it, you can't really tell that it ends anytime soon, like that, because you can't really see all the way through it. And I think it just looks really, really awesome. I love this whole vibe. I'm going to keep this area open. I think having a little bit of open space around the rides is awesome. There's no need to clump things together too hard, right? So it's okay to leave a little space. I don't like this overgrown kind of vibe that this has right here. I'm going to move this. Let's go into advanced move and just kind of pull it in a little bit. There we go. Let's go ahead and hit check mark. And this one too, go ahead and just pull it in slightly. Maybe rotate this a little bit. Oh, I moved it on accident. That's fine. We'll find the space better like this. Just like that, I think is fine. There we have it. But I'm really happy with what we did today. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that's kind of what building these parks are about. You do small pieces at a time, take a little bit of break, and just take inventory on what you did that day, and you end up with something pretty unique by the end of it. So thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, consider becoming a channel member. It helps out a ton. And please join the Discord down below. Let's hang out, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Hopefully sooner than last time. All right, you guys have a good day now. Bye-bye.